care what you're drinking. 2 shots, let's pour it up. I know what you're thinking, but tomorrow won't come for us. This life that we're living, ain't never gonna give it up. Double shot for the gifted, and one more for us. There you go, drink it up. All this love in a cup. Yeah, we go slow, we go fast. Yeah, we can't get enough. We stay all day, all night, living in paradise. Remember, you don't get it.
Yo guys, hello and welcome back to episode 14 of the Minardi My Team Career Mode here on F1 26. You join me here for round 14 at Zandvoort. If you did miss the last episode at the Hungaroring, go and check that out before you get any spoilers. So last time out at the Hungaroring, unfortunately, on the alternative strategy, we didn't manage to get any points. Only P14 with Gabriele Mini. But yeah, hoping for a lot better this time out in Zandvoort. And I can confirm the car felt absolutely amazing around here. Much better than it did last time out at the Hungaroring. Went for a banker in Q1. Not ideal. And then on our second run in Q1, we get blocked by Gabriel Bortoletto on our final run. And unfortunately, that means we qualified in P19 for the sprint race here at Zandvoort. At least it wasn't the feature race, but not ideal in itself. But let's get into the sprint race.
See how our starting grid looks for today's sprint. Lando Norris will lead us away from pole position, and Andrea Kimi Antonelli completes the front row. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Russell, Verstappen, Oscar Piastri, and Leclerc. Hamilton, Sainz, Hadjar, and Alex Albon. Gasly, Colapinto, Ollie Behrman, and Alonso. Lindblad, Perez, Gabriel Bortoletto, and Gabriele Mini. Soloff, Ocon, Lawson, Hulkenberg, Stroll, and Valtteri Bottas begins the race from the back of the grid. And with preparations almost complete, let's head trackside for today's...
So obviously here for the sprint race at the Dutch Grand Prix, going to be a 0 stop, going to be on the mediums. Hopefully the tyres will be able to last towards the end. It does say it may potentially rain towards the end, so that could be interesting. But without any further ado, we have 5 red lights here at Zandvoort. And it's lights out and away we go from P19 on the grid. We get a really decent launch off the line, instantly overtaking our teammate Gabriele Mini. And we're going to go round the outside into turn 1, hoping to pick up a few places here, straight off the jump, and we do get past Bortoletto and Fernando Alonso into P15. Again, we're going to look right round the outside of the banking here. A little bit of a touch from Colapinto there, but no damage, no problems. A little bit reckless from the AI at the exit of that corner, but not going to complain too much. Up into P12 already. Obviously, points only go up to P8, so we still need to overtake a few cars if we want any points in this sprint race. But like I said earlier, the car is actually feeling quite good around this track. And yeah, haven't done that much running around Zandvoort this year, but yeah, when it's flowing, it's flowing. And we're going to try and pick up at least a point in the sprint race, if at all possible. A little train ahead of us, Colapinto, Albon ahead. Hopefully we can get them as soon as possible. But yeah, still got a full battery towards the end of this first lap here at Zandvoort. And we're going to go straight on the attack of Franco Colapinto. He's burning battery, but we're burning battery also. And we're going to send it down the inside into turn 1, taking absolutely no prisoners there. And we get up to P11 straight away here on lap 2. Towards the end of lap 3 now, Hadjar and Albon going side by side in towards the penultimate corner. A little bit of contact with Albon there, so not ideal, but we do manage to get the position. Now just behind, out of the 1 second range of Isaac Hadjar. So yeah, going to be a big ask to try and catch him up, but fortunately we are still going to get the overtake deployment as we get a yellow flag into turn 1. And it's Kimi Antonelli is spun from the race lead here at the Dutch Grand Prix. Really poor from the Mercedes man there, dropping all the way down the field. But towards the end of lap 5 now, we are on the back of Isaac Hadjar. The pace has been really good in this race. We get in the slipstream, pull to the outside, and it's a nice easy overtake on the Red Bull man. Leaves his nose up the inside, but we have the better line and traction out of turn 1. So beautiful, up into the points now with that overtake on Hadjar and Antonelli spinning in this Grand Prix. But it's not until the mid-stage of lap 8 we lose the back end slightly, get a dipper wheel on the grass, and that allows Hadjar to go back up the inside of us. Tyre wear is pretty high around this track as Pierre Gasly's going to go to the outside. An outrageous Lyco from the Red Bull ahead, which allows Gasly to go side by side of him and actually get 2 places in one corner. So really good from the Alpine there. But yeah, like I was saying, tyre wear is very high around here, having to look after the front left quite a bit, even in this sprint race. Start of lap 10, we're already in the 70% region in the front left, so still having to look after it, but we're also going to try and go on the attack here of Isaac Hadjar, get the move done at the end of sector 1, and that's beautiful, back up into P9. Pierre Gasly ahead of us. That is the 1 championship point that we could have quite easily got if we didn't make that mistake a few laps ago, but towards the end of the sprint race now, and Gasly just had really good pace, to be fair to him, and we couldn't really do much on these worn tyres. And yeah, as you can see, the front left very, very worn. Very lucky to not get a puncture as we're just losing the car pretty much everywhere on this final lap, but fortunately able to hold off the Red Bull man behind as the other Red Bull man of Max Verstappen wins his home Grand Prix here, or at least a sprint race. So very close to the points, hoping for a bit better on Sunday, but still a good result.
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
So that wraps up the sprint race, but there's still more action yet to come this weekend. We've got qualifying and, of course, the Grand Prix.
So yeah, we managed to make really good progress here in the sprint race. Our teammate not so much, but it's encouraging signs for this weekend. Hopefully we can do a bit better in qualifying and then in turn the race, but we're going to move straight into Q1 here on our banker lap. Coming around the final corner, we're going to run out of battery just before the line, but a decent banker nonetheless going into P16. So a much better opening lap here. And then on our final lap in Q1, we're going to actually go purple in the first sector, showing our pace mainly in that first sector. We've been pretty good this weekend so far in that portion of the track. It's mainly the middle sector that we've been having problems with, but we're about half a second up coming towards the line. And it's going to be P12 on the track here in Q1, so really good showing there. Gabriele Mini actually up in P7 as well, so really good performance from the Minardi boys here in Q1. A little 5-second penalty for, I think it was Ollie Behrman there, so hopefully that will help us out as well in the race. But used tyre run in Q2 for our first run, and that puts us P17, but we're over a second up going into the final corner on our last lap here in Q2. I'm going to get the battery on, I'm going to run out again just before the line, but we're 1.1 seconds up, and that is going to be P7, so getting through into Q3 again here. It's been a little while, but we are not going to complain, we're going to take it. Unfortunately, Gabriele Mini not able to perform the same miracles in Q1 as in Q2, but not a bad position for him on the grid. First run in Q3 was a used tyre run, putting us P10, and then a final run, we're only about half a second quicker on this final lap. Just running out of battery again before the line, so not ideal, but it's actually going to put us up in P6 for the race. So an amazing qualifying session here for the Minardi boys. Our highest qualifying in quite some time. And yeah, managing to out-qualify the likes of Lando Norris and Lewis Hamilton. So yeah, going to be very tough to keep up with these guys, but we're going to do our best. And just in case anyone's wondering, obviously running 110% AI, approximate weather, simulation damage, all that good stuff. So yeah, without any further ado, let's get into the race.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Charles Leclerc lines up on pole position, and Max Verstappen lines up alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Piastri, Russell, Andrea Kimi Antonelli, and Soloff, Albon, Norris, Hamilton, and Carlos Sainz, Lindblad, Mini, Fernando Alonso, and Ocon, Hulkenberg, Gasly, Ollie Behrman, and Gabriel Bortoleto, Hadja, Lawson, Colapinto, Bottas, Perez, and Lance Stroll brings the grid to a close. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track where preparations are underway. And joining me in the commentary box...
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down.
So as it's a very high tyre wear track around here, as it's a sprint weekend also, we have a very severe lack of fresh rubber here. Them soft tyres are not fresh, and we've only got one set of mediums, one set of hards apparently. And it's not going to let us choose which order we want to use our tyres for this race, which is very annoying. Why can't they just put a create your own strategy box in there? I don't know, but anyway, we're going to have to start on the softs, and then we'll see what happens later. We'll probably switch to the mediums and then go to the hards towards the end. But yeah, bit annoying in this one, but what can you do? But it's going to be 5 red lights here at Zandvoort on the soft tyres, and it's lights out and away we go. All the runners ahead look to be on the soft tyres so far. We're going to pull instantly to the outside, almost running into the back of Oscar Piastri there, but it actually works out for us. We get an amazing line round the outside once again. Managed to overtake both of the Mercedes, and we're up into P4 already in this race. Going to go out to the outside of Oscar again, but fortunately for him, he gets the better traction and manages to stay ahead for now. We're going to have a little look into the long right-hander though, but we think better of it. Actually dipping a wheel on the grass here. But it's another amazing start here on lap 1 of the Dutch Grand Prix up into P4. It's going to be very hard to keep these Mercedes guys behind us, but we're going to do our best. As you can see, the front 3 are already starting to pull away a fair bit. But we're going to try our hardest here to stay at least in the overtake for a couple of laps. But as you can see, the tyres are already pretty worn from qualifying, so they will not last very long at all in this Grand Prix. Would have much rather started on the mediums or something like that, just so we could get through this initial stage of probably overheating with all the fuel and that we got in the car. But we're going to come across the line lap 1 and be in P4, as Leclerc is actually on the hard compound tyre, so that could throw up a little bit of something later on. He's managing to do pretty well to keep with the soft runners at the moment, but start of lap 4 now, and George Russell is going to go down the inside into turn 1. We try and hold the wide line, but he's going to get the job done. Obviously in the better car, his tyres are obviously looking all right. Antonelli actually sends it down the inside, but we do not see him until the last minute. Unfortunately, we make a little bit of contact. We actually didn't expect him to go for it there, so apologies to Kimi, but yeah, very unfortunate. So I think he did get a little bit of front wing damage, because he has dropped back quite a bit already, and we're struggling to keep up with George. And yeah, I can confirm Anthony did have a bit of damage. He did have to pit on the following lap. The start of lap 6, George Russell has gone completely down the road as we get a little yellow flag on the start-finish straight, and that's going to be a virtual safety car in this Grand Prix. Pretty poor timing, because if that was a little bit earlier, we could have maybe boxed and saved a bit of time, but luckily the full safety car comes out here at Zandvoort, so that is going to make our lives a bit easier, as Carlos Sainz actually retires from the Grand Prix as well. So yeah, we're going to box at the end of this lap. Going to go onto the mediums. Hopefully going to give us a bit better traction and help us with the overheating that these tyres cause around here. Just my driving style really, but yeah, Looking for a good stop in this one. It's a bit slow on the front right though. It's nearly a 5-second pit stop, but we manage to get out ahead of Max Verstappen, undercutting him in this one. So really, really lucky and fortunate for us there. But we're going to emerge in P17. A lot of people have decided to stay out. Obviously the guys mainly on the hard tyres, but end of lap 8 now, the safety car is going to come in. We have George Russell and Oscar Piastri directly ahead of us in this one. So we're going to try and make the most of it off the safety car restart, getting the slipstream of George Russell, and it's going to be a nice easy overtake into turn 1. So easy in fact that we send it up the inside of the McLaren man as well. And we get 2 for the price of 1 there. A little bit of a squeeze on the outside for Oscar there on the soft compound tyres. But now we have Perez Bottas ahead of us that we need to get really quickly in this Grand Prix. Try and put a car or 2 between ourselves and the other front runners. And yeah, you never know, this could be absolutely amazing for our race here. We dispatched Perez pretty easily, straight up into P14. And yeah, but yeah, we got Valtteri Bottas up next, and then Lance Stroll and the Aston. So the grid is very, very jumbled up at the moment due to that safety car. But yeah, we're going to try and get a good run out of this long left-hander. We get the straight line mode open, deploy the boost battery, and we're going to dive down the inside of Valtteri Bottas there. Lovely move. And you've got Lance Stroll ahead of us now as Hulkenberg actually spins, which very last minute we try to avoid the Aston, but we lose our front wing. But fortunately the red flag is deployed here at Zandvoort only a few laps after the safety car. So yeah, what is that going to mean for this race? And the people that haven't pit, they're going to get a major advantage from this. We're going to go back on the mediums that we were just on, so they're not going to be fresh, but up into P10 now. Hulkenberg actually with a 10-second penalty, and it's 5 red lights, and away we go here again at Zandvoort. Everyone else on the soft compound tyres, so they should have the advantage straight away, but we're going to send it down the inside of Esteban Ocon, Ollie Behrman. We're going to get the job done up into P8 already. So an amazing restart. Our teammate Gabriele Mini is actually ahead of us as well. So currently got 2 Minardis in the points as Behrman gets us back on the inside, but we're going to overtake him straight away with a bit of the battery. And yeah, this could be an amazing result here for the Minardi boys if it stays like this. A double point scoring finish would be simply lovely. But yeah, still very early stages of this race, only on lap 11. And we've got the likes of Hamilton and then even Alonso ahead of him. So yes, the grid is still fairly jumbled up. And coming towards the end of lap 14, they absolutely raced away. Them on the soft tyres were very competitive as Ollie Behrman goes down the inside of turn 1, running out a little bit of battery towards the end of that straight. Make a little bit of contact with his rear, but not the end of the world. No proper damage there. And then towards the end of lap 17, we've saved up a bit of the battery. We managed to stick with Ollie, and we're going to send it back on him. We're going to feint to the inside, go to the outside of turn 1. Our tyres are really worn, but still getting decent traction off of the corner. And yeah, the AI's tyre wear around here is crazy. They've managed to get their softs longer than I can manage the mediums, so I think that says a lot about the AI. And actually towards the end of lap 18, we get a puncher on the front left as we come into box. So yeah, very lucky that happens on the last corner and not the first, but we're going to pull into the pits, go onto the hard compound tyres for the remaining 17 laps of this Grand Prix. Hopefully get a little bit of an undercut on the cars around, because the undercut is very strong around here, and a much better stop this time. Unfortunately, having to wait a little bit for Arvid Lindblad. But yeah, start of lap 20 now, and we get up to the back of Arvid Lindblad, and we're going to send it down the inside at the start of sector 2. He holds it nicely around the outside, but we put the battery on a little bit and managed to get him straight away in this Grand Prix. End of lap 20 now, Kimi Antonelli pits as we set the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. Front left already at 11% wear, so yeah, crazy tyre wear around here. As Gabriele Mini actually comes out ahead of us, so he's managed to do the overcut on us, which is crazy, but he was ahead anyway, and start of lap 22, we're going to set another fast lap of the race. The pace is really good at this point in time, as Alonso and Mini are ahead, and Albon manages to get out just ahead of the pair of them. So we're going to take a nice wide line, try and get the run out of this hairpin, get the battery on. We're going to hope and see if we can get past our teammate here. Try and make a nice little move down the inside just as we run out of battery, unfortunately. So to his credit, Gabriele Mini's going to hold it round the outside. We have to slot in, but we are going to send it up the inside of our teammate. A little bit aggressive, but doing what has to be done in this Grand Prix to try and progress. Back up into P8 now. Alonso and Albon ahead. And coming towards the end of lap 22, we are very low on the battery, but we still have the overspeed on Fernando Alonso. We're going to go to the outside and we're going to get the job done here. Up into P5 now with a few more pit stops. Albon and Norris ahead on the soft compound tyres, so they will almost certainly have to stop again in this Grand Prix. So that would put us in a podium position if things stay the way that they are. As Fernando Alonso actually retires from the Grand Prix halfway through lap 25. Tyres are still holding on pretty well. It's looking like it's going to be a bit touch and go with that front left towards the end of this Grand Prix, so stick around and find out if we can manage these tyres a little bit better. And coming on to the end of lap 25, Albon is looking very vulnerable as his soft tyres start to go off a little bit. We're going to feint to the inside and we're going to launch it down the outside of the Williams van around turn 1. A little bit of wheel banging, but going to get the position done nicely. Leave him no room on the apex. But yeah, go really wide to set up the exit, put the boost on and try and get away. Oh, actually no boost, but we do get a brief yellow flag into turn 1, so I wonder what happened there. But yeah, Charles Leclerc pits at the start of lap 27 and we are going to be promoted into P3 in this Grand Prix. Currently in a podium position, and the other two ahead are also on the soft compound tyres, so they will have to box again. So this could be the race lead here at Zandvoort, and Gabriele Mini still in P4. We could have a double podium here for the Minardi boys. This race has gone absolutely crazy as the start of lap 30, Lando Norris and Alex Albon pit, which releases ourselves and Gabriele Mini, currently 1-2, the Minardi boys in this Grand Prix. And George Russell, Kimi Antonelli are a few seconds down the road still. So we could actually do this. As long as the tyres hold up and we don't get a Kimi Räikkönen from 2005 Nürburgring, we could actually get our first podium of the team's history here, and double podium at that, and could even be a race win. But yeah, we're doing our best at the moment to try and keep Gabriele Mini in our overtake window so we can try and drag him along, because even though the tyres are feeling a bit ragged now, we have decent pace in this Grand Prix. We still can keep the gap to a comfortable distance on the Mercedes boys, but unfortunately, start of the penultimate lap, Mini dropped out of our overtake window, and it's looking like he's going to be very vulnerable at the end of this lap to Kimi Antonelli.
Track is clear, green flag.
And yeah, we're going to come on the end of lap 34, and Alex Albon is out of this Grand Prix. And unfortunately, Kimi Antonelli gets past Gabriele Mini on the start-finish straight. So now we have literally a lap left to maybe hold this lead of about 2 seconds to Kimi Antonelli. Start of the final lap now, and the tyres are on 82% on the front left, so very, very risky, and they could blow up at any point, but we still have a 2-second lead to Kimi Antonelli. Unfortunately, Gabriele Mini has dropped out of the podium position. But yeah, he's still doing an amazing job. Going to still get good points for the team. But we are in an absolutely unreal position. We're still about 2.5 seconds ahead of Antonelli on the final lap. Could this be the history-defining moment here for the Minardi boys? Our first podium and our first win in Formula One. Kimi Antonelli has already gained a second on this lap, so it is not over yet. But by the looks of it, Nicholas Solov is only 2 corners away from making history here for the Minardi boys. Make that one corner, one long sweeping right hand banked corner here at Zandvoort. Tyre wear is on 86% and we are on the final straight. We're going to cross the line here for our first piece of silverware for the Minardi boys.
Awesome.
Incredible.
Just amazing, mate. Well done.
The checkered flag flies, and Nicola Soloff can say, I'm a winner.
It's not every day that we get to see such incredible wheel-to-wheel racing. Next time, they might consider making it easier for themselves, but today, we absolutely loved all the action that we got to see out there.
Welcome then to the podium, our top 3 drivers. What a great effort from them today in a very difficult race.
Yes, guys, we have done it. We have achieved what the Minardi boys could not do in 21 years here in our first season of the Minardi My Team career mode. And Nicola Solov is the man. Not only a podium, but a win here at Zandvoort. Unfortunately, in the excitement of it, I forgot to look at all the standings, get some replays. But yeah, the one race I do that for is the most important, which is completely on me. But yeah, an absolutely amazing result. Not only for ourselves, but Gabriele Mini finishing P5 in the race. Absolutely incredible. Did not expect that coming into the weekend, but we are absolutely going to take it. Starting P6 on the grid, ending up down in P17 after the safety car. Then a red flag hits. We start P10 on the grid and we managed to win the Dutch Grand Prix. Incredible, absolutely incredible. And yeah, I'm pretty speechless. Fortunately, I managed to get these highlights from the gallery in the main menu, but yeah, I'm a bit disappointed I couldn't get some more replays and some footage from the race, but yeah, that's going to be it from me, guys. If you could smash the like button, smash the subscribe button, I'd really appreciate it. It would mean the absolute world to me. Trying to hit 500 subs before the end of the year. That'd be incredible. If you want to make a man's dream come true, then please help me out. But yeah, thank you all so much, guys. I'll see you next time out in Monza, where we'll be with Gabriele Mini at his home Grand Prix. I wonder if we can replicate the amazing scenes that we have done here today. History makers here with the Minardi boys. But yeah, have a good evening, guys. Thank you all so much. And cheers.